dawned on me what music was playing in the background.
That's funny.
It's quite a powerful, memory. There's so much memory association, and music also has a way of translating concepts that we don't have words for.
That's very true.
You can take a whole idea and put it into a piece of music that you might not be able to articulate in words.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you're absolutely right. And even songs and sounds that have no lyrics can make you be in a certain mood. Like easy listening jazz can put you in a certain mood. Symphonic music has such a wide range of moods it can put you in, or just invoke feelings that are very deep. And look at operas. You can not understand what the people are saying and still cry.
Yes.
Because operas are almost always sad.
Music forces you to use all of your brain.
Right.
So you're using your language skills, you're using your emotional centers, you're using your analytical skills. If you watch somebody's brain hooked up to, all that wires,
right,
and watch what parts of their brain turn on and are used while they're listening to music, it's pretty much every area of the brain.
I'm going to have to look at that. That's a really good thing to know. And when I meditate, sometimes I'll play a certain song, and it won't. I have to change it because that's not getting me that day. So it's so true how important it is. So walk us through what that day looks like with you. Like we walk in.
A drum journey looks like?
Yes.
Okay. So usually we do sort of a 2-hour program. And it depends on the size of the group. But if we have a small group, we like to have open it up with sharing, and we share at least our names so that we come together as a group. And then if anybody has any intentions for their meditation or just anything that they would like to share, maybe why they came. And then Ool and I, between the two of us, we usually do about a half an hour talk about meditation in general. We talk about vibrational healing, and it varies from session to session. And then most people will lay down. They bring yoga mats and blankets and things. And that's really because in kind of quote-unquote stereotypical meditation, you would sit. And you would want to be sitting because it's very easy to fall asleep if you're laying down. However, in this type of meditation, we actually encourage people to start laying down because we use not only the drums, but gongs and things like that, which take your brain immediately into a state of relaxation that's just above sleep. So what we find is that if people start sitting up, they eventually end up laying down to begin in the end anyway. And then we do our thing for about 50 to 60 minutes. And then we close it with, again, we kind of test the shell, so to speak, and let people have an opportunity to share what they experienced if they want to. And that depends on the size of the crowd, because if we have a large crowd, sometimes we don't have the time to do that. But that's basically it, nutshell.
Very good. Well, I'll tell you, I am really looking forward to it. And so the date is December 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And what time are we starting?
11 a.m.
11, that's what I thought. So it's here at 515 Adams Street, and I can't wait. I think it's going to be really fun, and our seating is limited and to allow everybody the comfort to lay down without being real close to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really cool. I just can't wait. So so you are newly married and you do your drumming together and you work, Kellie, and so you have a pretty interesting job. The fact that you got to come to the Women to Women Expo was really fun. So what else do you get to do?
Oh, well, I mean, I do marketing and fund development for Catholic Charities here in Flint, Michigan. So, I mean, I'm in my office doing a lot of artwork and design work, actually, quite a lot of the time, and doing a lot of writing, which is a wonderful experience. And I get to meet a lot of people in my job that are incredibly, incredibly inspiring. I mean, here in Flint, people have had it rough, and they've had it rough for a long time now. So every few weeks, I end up meeting somebody that I'm interviewing or something like that, you know, they've had a completely rough life. And half the time I'm in tears during the interviews because they're just really, you know, they've got a lot of hurt. And in some ways, having a difficult life gives us a lot of room for growth and a lot of room for wisdom. And, I'm constantly inspired.
Very nice. That's great. Yes, and Flint is slowly recovering back from a horrible time. That was bad. And now they're finding lead in more water systems that I just wonder how long we're there as well. Oh, well, hopefully it'll work out. We need to just bless our water.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, about a year ago, there was a water blessing ceremony here in Flint that we participated with our instruments too. That was spring a year and a half ago then.
Yeah, we did a drumming for an event.
Oh, that's good. Yep, and you know, that held a lot of power, I'm sure, as all blessing of water holds so much power. Even if you are going to drink a glass of water, if you just hold it near you and bless it first, it's very powerful.
Yeah, everything is vibration and can be influenced with the vibration of your words or instruments. Everything is created with sound and can be influenced with sound. So, and our bodies are mostly water. So, so sound. There are scientific, tests done, and there is a video out that on our website. There's a link that shows how water changes shape in the vibration of different sounds of percussive instruments.
Yeah, I've seen that, and that is so cool, isn't it? Right now, we're doing the experiment with the rice. You know that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
where you have 3 jars of rice, and one you speak nicely to, and one you're mean to, and one you isolate.
Yes.
Yes. And
there's lots of experiments like that.
Yes.
And people are doing it more and more. I mean, what people often don't realize is that every thought that you have is an electrical impulse, which means it has a vibration to it. And I just saw something posted today on Facebook. A friend of mine, Chrissy at Stretch Yoga in Owasso, she posted something that said, thoughts, it was talking about thoughts, and that negative thoughts like hatred vibrate at a frequency of 50. Love vibrates at a frequency of 250.
Wow.
So she was basically her message was raise your vibration by raising your thoughts and raising what you put out into the world.
Right, and indifference probably has even lower than hate.
Yes,
I bet.
Probably.
Yep.
It probably doesn't even really register.
Right. There's a law of attraction emotional scale that I just happen to have right here by my computer. And number 1 is joy, knowing, empowerment, freedom, love, and appreciation. And, of course, these are vibrational as well. And number 22 is fear, grief, depression, despair, powerlessness, which is even lower than hate and rage and
Yeah.
anger, it's all lower than that. So, yeah, isn't that something? I've been studying energy for quite a long time now, and it just amazes me when you walk into a room. People say that it's insignificant, and I always say to them, when you walk into a room, can you pick up on the energy immediately? And you can.
Oh yeah, I mean, even when we're doing drumming, you know, a lot of what happens in the room that day is based on the energy of the people.
Ah.
So when we do something that is in a place, like I've noticed, and I don't know if Ool may agree, that, for example, when we do drummings that are closer to Detroit, and people that are like in more intense, you know, their schedules are more intense, everything's busier, there's more cars, there's more chaos, and they're, you know, they want to go. It's 8:30 now, we got to go, kind of thing. There's an energy that shifts where we can kind of feel that. Whereas when we're in a place where people are open to whatever happens, they're not looking at their watches. They're there to get what they need to get. I mean, sometimes we have to kind of go, hello, it's time to wake up now. and that's when we know that we've done a good job, because people are still laying there and they don't want to move.
Oh. Boy, I bet that happens frequently, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we have to kind of coax them back into, you know, at the end of the day, we do have to stop at some point, kind of thing.
Right.
And would you agree with that, Ool? Would you say that?
Yeah. Yeah, we travel together. It's always unpredictable exactly what's going to happen in a given session, but because it's determined by the energies we bring there, each individual, and what we are willing to do, or to the extent to which we are willing to open up and flow with the uplifting energies of the source.
So
yeah,
often do you have a tough crowd every now and then?
Every once in a while, you can just tell that people are getting antsy. And it just depends on, again, you know,
where.
Sometimes it's down to where the moon happens to be. Sometimes it's down to, you know, we scheduled it at a time which maybe wasn't the best time to schedule it.
Yeah, like we did a October full moon by the natives is called Hunter's Moon. Did outdoor drumming there, and yeah, I noticed in the beginning it was hard to get going. It's like a barrier through which we had to press, and I had to shift things around and play different instruments to shake things around, because I was feeling that we were not breaking through into the flow of the spirit. We were like stuck. There was like judgmental thoughts that we were experiencing. So yeah, it was interesting. In the beginning, it often can be hard for me to play and find the flow because of the energies that have been brought there, but it usually always takes off and experience of flow, fluidity, so to speak, and freedom and connect.
And it often depends well on, you know, sometimes we get crowds of people that are experienced meditators that do this kind of thing all the time, and other times we get people that this is the first thing they've done like this at all. And it's actually a fairly because when you add into, you create a narrative sort of dialogue in your head, and so it can be quite intense for people. They don't know what to expect. It's all new to them, and they're anxious. You know, they're worried about whether or not they're doing it right, or you know, all of that stuff. Sometimes you sense that. So.
Oh, right. So sometimes our own insecurities hold us back.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Interesting. Boy, and that's really true in everything, isn't it?
Yeah. That's, you know, try to let ease before we start that there is no correct way to meditate. You know, meditation is something that, yes, there are things you can do to make it likely that you're going to have a better experience. But for me,